And now to a large recall from General Motors. It involves 600,000 vehicles whose V8 engines can fail without warning.
There's a moment every truck buyer knows well. You walk into a dealership, you've done your homework, your budget is set, and you're ready to drive home in something powerful, capable, and built to last. You're not just buying a vehicle, you're buying into an idea. The idea that American engineering is still the best in the world, that the machines rolling off these assembly lines are worthy of the hard-earned money you're handing over. American truck buyers are among the most informed, most loyal, and most passionate consumers on the planet. You research before you buy. You talk to other owners. You know the difference between a 5.3 and a 6.2. You know your tow ratings, your payload numbers, your trim levels. You don't walk into dealerships blind, and that's exactly why what General Motors has allowed to happen with their 6.2-liter L87 V8 is such a profound betrayal of the people who trusted them most. Because right now, in 2026, something is going seriously wrong inside some of the most expensive trucks and SUVs on American roads, and not enough people are talking about it with the clarity it deserves. If you're new here, welcome. This channel exists to give you straight, honest automotive information without the spin. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because what we're about to walk through could save you tens of thousands of dollars. How we got here. The 6.2-liter L87 V8 was supposed to be General Motors' statement engine, the crown jewel, the reason you'd spend an extra several $1,000s stepping up from the standard 5.3-liter option. It was marketed as the pinnacle of what a naturally aspirated American V8 could be in a full-size truck or SUV. More power, more capability, more everything. And for a while, it delivered on that promise, at least on paper and in press releases. But reports started emerging. Owners began posting on forums, filing complaints, calling dealerships. Engines were failing, not in the slow, gradual way that gives you time to pull over carefully. We're talking about sudden, complete mechanical breakdowns, connecting rods failing catastrophically, engine blocks compromised beyond repair, vehicles losing power at highway speeds with zero warning whatsoever. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, the NHTSA, opened a formal investigation in early 2025. What that investigation revealed was staggering in scope. Over 877,000 vehicles had been flagged as potentially affected. Nearly 28,000 individual engine failure reports had been submitted before General Motors issued a formal recall. The recall itself ultimately covered more than 600,000 vehicles, Silverados, Sierras, Tahoes, Suburbans, all of them powered by the same engine that had been promoted as a premium upgrade worth every penny. If you've been following this story, drop a comment below. We want to hear from owners who have lived through this firsthand. The recall that raised more questions than it answered. When a major automaker issues a recall, there's an implicit promise being made to consumers. We found the problem, we fixed it, you're safe. That promise is the foundation of the entire recall system. Without it, the process is meaningless. So what happened when affected GM vehicles came in under this recall? Technicians ran a diagnostic evaluation on each engine. Based on those results, one of two things happened. Either the engine was replaced entirely, or, and this is where things get complicated, the oil specification was changed, specifically from 0W20 to 0W40. Now, for anyone with mechanical knowledge, that change represents a meaningful jump in viscosity at operating temperature. A heavier oil does provide slightly more film strength under load and heat. There's some engineering logic there. But here's what the data is increasingly suggesting. This was not a fix for the underlying problem. It was an attempt to manage symptoms while the root cause, which appears to be a design and manufacturing deficiency, remained unaddressed. The evidence for that assessment? Owners who had their engines fully replaced under the recall began reporting the same warning signs returning. The same power loss, the same knocking sounds, the same eventual failures. One owner of a Yukon Denali Ultimate, a vehicle priced well above $90,000, had their vehicle pass the recall diagnostic test only to experience complete engine failure just weeks later. The NHTSA is now actively investigating whether the recall remedy itself constitutes an inadequate response. Think carefully about what that means. A federal agency is investigating whether the solution General Motors offered to an already catastrophic problem is itself a failure. If this is your first time hearing about all of this, please share this video with anyone you know who drives a GM truck or SUV. This information matters. What's hiding at the dealership? Here's something subtle that speaks volumes about where General Motors currently stands with their own flagship engine. Walk any Chevy dealership lot in 2026. Look at the hood badges on new Silverados. You'll see TurboMax badges. You'll see Duramax badges. You'll see Z71. What you will not find is a 6.2 badge anywhere on the exterior of those trucks. This is not an accident. For years, that 6.2 badge was a point of pride, a signal to other drivers that you'd opted for the most powerful gas engine in the lineup. It was a status symbol built right into the sheet metal. That badge is gone now, quietly removed, no announcement, no explanation. Just gone. At the same time, finding a new Silverado or Sierra with a 6.3-liter L87 in stock has become genuinely difficult. Across dealership lots where you'd once expect to see multiple examples of the top trim V8 configuration, there are now very few, sometimes none. The ones most commonly spotted near the service bays, waiting on engine replacements. Meanwhile, sales staff are steering buyers toward the 5.3-liter option or increasingly toward the turbocharged 2.7-liter four-cylinder TurboMax engine. We'll talk about why that's actually not the worst suggestion in a moment, but the symbolism of a full-size American truck buyer being guided away from a V8 and toward a four-cylinder tells you something important about internal confidence levels at GM right now. Interestingly, GMC has continued badging the 5.3 on certain Sierra models, seemingly using it as a differentiating signal, almost as if to quietly communicate that at least this particular engine isn't the one under investigation. The contrast between how the two brands are handling their lineup presentation is telling. And what about pricing? A 2026 Chevy Suburban High Country with the 6.2 L87 carries a sticker price over $100,000. A Tahoe High Country with the same engine runs close to $89,000. These are six-figure family vehicles powered by an engine that remains under active federal scrutiny. American families are paying $100,000 for a vehicle whose engine the federal government is still evaluating. That's the situation as it stands today. Credit where it's due. The engines GM got right. This story isn't about writing off General Motors entirely, because the truth is more complicated and more frustrating than a simple condemnation. GM has demonstrated unambiguously that they have the engineering talent and capability to build outstanding engines. Two current examples prove it. The 2.7-liter TurboMax four-cylinder is genuinely impressive. Available in the Chevy Colorado and GMC Canyon, this engine runs significant boost pressure for a four-cylinder application, producing 310 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque in 2026 specification. Those torque numbers beat the old 5.3 V8 that powered full-size trucks for years. Colorado and Canyon owners are not flooding online communities with engine failure reports. They're towing, hauling, off-roading and daily driving, and the engines are holding up. The engineering team behind the TurboMax clearly prioritized long-term reliability over short-term production efficiency. Then there's the 6.2-liter V8 in the C8 Corvette. Same displacement as the troubled L87, similar architectural lineage, and yet, virtually none of the catastrophic failure modes that have defined the truck engine's story. Corvette owners pushing these engines hard on tracks are not experiencing connecting rod failures. They're not losing power suddenly on public roads. The Corvette 6.2 is widely regarded as one of the finest naturally aspirated performance V8s currently in production anywhere in the world. So here's the uncomfortable question GM has to answer. How does the same company, working with the same basic displacement, produce an engine celebrated globally in one application and an engine under federal investigation in another? The honest answer points towards different priorities at the program level, different standards for manufacturing tolerances, different quality control thresholds, different relationships between engineering goals and production cost targets. The Corvette team built their engine as though their entire reputation depended on getting it right, because it did. The truck engine program, somewhere in its development, allowed different considerations to take precedence. That contrast is what makes the L87 situation so genuinely maddening for the truck buyers who were promised GM's best. Follow this channel if you want us to keep digging into stories like this one, because we're not done. What's coming next? GM cannot continue this trajectory indefinitely. They cannot keep selling a recalled engine. They cannot keep replacing failed engines with units that are also failing. Something has to change. And signals from GM suggest something is indeed changing. Chevrolet recently revealed the 2027 Corvette Grand Sport alongside an all-new 6.7-liter V8 producing 535 horsepower and 520 pound-feet of torque, mated to a new 8-speed dual-clutch transmission. This engine represents what GM is positioning as the foundation of their next-generation V8 architecture. When the announcement landed, speculation immediately turned toward the Silverado and Sierra. The logic seemed almost too obvious. Take your best new engine, put it in your best-selling vehicles, and draw a clear line between the troubled L87 era and whatever comes next. General Motors was quick to clarify, however, that the 2027 Silverado and Sierra will receive a 6.6-liter V8 from the new Generation 6 small block family, related to the Corvette engine architecturally, but developed as a distinct application with different specifications. GM's official language carefully stated that the architecture would benefit other V8 models, stopping well short of suggesting a direct engine transplant. Whether the lessons that produced a celebrated Corvette V8 will genuinely carry over into a mass-production truck engine, or whether cost targets and volume pressures will once again win out over engineering excellence, is a question that won't be answered by press releases alone. It will be answered by what happens in owner driveways and on American highways for the first 50,000 miles of the new engine's real-world life. The L87 era in GM's half-ton trucks and full-size SUVs appears to be winding down, whether GM acknowledges it explicitly or not. The question worth watching is whether its replacement will be built with Corvette-level commitment or with the compromises that defined its predecessor. What you should actually do right now. If you're currently in the market for a GM truck or SUV, here's clear, practical guidance based on where things stand. If you want a full-size GM platform with a gasoline V8 and you want the strongest reliability case available right now, the 6.6-liter V8 found in the heavy-duty 2500 and 3500 series trucks has not exhibited the catastrophic failure patterns associated with the L87. It's a proven platform with a working-class reputation for durability. If payload and towing are your priorities, this is the honest recommendation. If you're open to reconsidering the 4-cylinder option in a half-ton truck, give the 2.7-liter TurboMax a genuine look before dismissing it. The torque output exceeds what the 5.3 V8 delivered. Fuel economy improves meaningfully. The engineering record on this engine is solid. American truck culture has always been about capability, and this engine delivers capability through different means than displacement alone. If the 5.3-liter V8 is your preference, go in informed. The 5.3 has its own documented history with lifter failures and cylinder deactivation system issues. Many owners have addressed those concerns by disabling the active fuel management system, and many have had long-term positive experiences with the engine. It's not the L87 situation, but it's not without its considerations either. If a dealer is trying to sell you a new 6.2-liter L87 V8 in a half-ton truck or full-size SUV, know your rights before you sign anything. Understand lemon law protections in your state. Ask for written warranty commitments in explicit terms, and make your decision with full awareness of the documented history behind that engine. American truck buyers deserve honest information. You work too hard, save too long, and invest too much in these vehicles to make a 6-figure decision without the full picture. The bigger picture. What makes this story resonate beyond the mechanical specifics is what it represents about the relationship between a major American automaker and the people who built its success. GM's truck and SUV lineup is not a niche product. These vehicles are how millions of American families get to work, haul their families, pull their trailers, and navigate their lives. They are foundational purchases, meaningful financial commitments made on the basis of trust. When that trust is tested by 28,000 engine failures, by a recall that appears insufficient, by a federal investigation that's still ongoing, by a badge quietly removed from a hood, it doesn't just affect sales numbers. It affects something harder to rebuild than market share. American engineering at its best is genuinely something to be proud of. The TurboAx is proof. The Corvette V8 is proof. The capability exists. The question GM has to answer for the American consumers who kept their brand alive through decades of competition is whether that capability will be consistently applied where it matters most. Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you've owned an affected vehicle, if you've been through the recall process, if you've had a replacement engine fail, your experience matters, and this community needs to hear it. Subscribe to stay connected as this story continues to develop, because the 2027 model year announcements are only the beginning of what promises to be a pivotal chapter in American truck history.